building my dome. Concrete walls, yeah, it's my home. Stockpile stacked with rations tight. Prep for the dark, we'll light the fight. Forage the woods, take what I need. Off-grid living, no time for greed. Barter goods in the shadow shade. Tactical steps in plans I've laid. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepared for the fall. Yeah, prepared for it all. Generators hum, a comforting sound. Blackout nights when chaos surrounds. Seeds in jars, yeah, we're growing life. Homesteading strong in a time of strife. No high-tech wires, no web to roam. Resilience beats the world unknown. Hands in the soil, hearts in the fight. Staying ready every day, every night. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Back through the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepared for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Prepare for it all. When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to govern.
Okay, it looks like we're here and ready to go. Wow, this camera is really zoomed in, guys. Give me a mic test. That would be great. A little 5x5 or something like that, and we can get going. I'm going to adjust my camera here because it's just a little wonky. There we go. Now my whole head fits inside. Hopefully you guys are having a great evening here. Another unscheduled live stream. And I thought I'd make it worth your while by giving away something of value. For those of you that are here now, I want you to know that all you have to do, this is for U.S. citizens only, or people who live in the United States only, because I can't be shipping some of these things out of the country. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going to be the Retevis Alluance HD2 DMR radio. Still in the box. This is actually a pretty expensive radio. We're going to go over some of that a little bit later. But yeah, you have to stick around. Also, instructions inside the description of this video, guys. The instructions on how to get in. Yeah, they're there. You might want to do that because I've noticed that people were paying attention and they actually did half of it, but they didn't do the other half of it over here. So let's do a very quick. Let's see here. Let's see here. We're going to do a very quick video or a very quick description of what you're supposed to be doing. So is to make sure that you are paying attention. So I'm going to push this button over here and we're going to share. I'm going to share this screen. Okay, I understand. Thank you, whatever. And we're going to do that right there. We're going to share that one. All right, so let me push this. No, not that, not that, not that. What else? What do I need? Oh, I need to show in stream. There we go. So guys, if you were looking, if you were paying attention to the actual instructions, these are the instructions right here. They're in the description of this video. To enter to win, you must go to this video link right here, click on it, and then type in the comments, giveaway. And then you must come back here and type the word done, and then you will be entered. Hopefully I won't have to go over that anymore, but it is what it is if that is the case. So let's go ahead and hide that because you guys don't need to see all of those stuffs. Let's go back to this one right here. There we go. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and go to the, so first and foremost, Sal, I had a problem with the initial link and Sal had a problem getting in. So Sal, first, alrighty then, number 2, and then Cindy Hoffman, you are deterred. If we're going to slide down here, who else we got? We got Bradley Collins, Catitude, and Cindy Hoff. There we go. Deanna's in the house. There you go. Grit and Grace, the farming florist. I love it. Good to see you. Preston's in the house. My captain. Cuckvy's here. Who is this? West Virginia Pappy. We got Jeep Girl. I haven't seen you in a while. Wow, that's awesome. Gnostic showed up. Good to go. Cool Colt. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Ian is in the house, and I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody. I'm going to slide over here because, as usual, I'm a one-man band, just doing the stuffs that I have to do to make these live streams work for you. All right, so I do not know. I've put out the feelers for multiple YouTube developers, just like I did yesterday. We had a really, really good time. I don't know if anybody will show up. If they show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. It's not a big deal. This, like I said, this was an unscheduled live stream. Now, with all that said, yeah, I see people are paying attention now. Done. There you go. Obviously, we're going to be giving away the radio later on tonight, but you know, as the title was talking about, you know, we're talking about some infrastructure problems, some infrastructure vulnerabilities, and I'm going to make that where it's actually like usable. It's like way too big. There we go. And what I would normally do is have like another person talking with me and this, that, and the other thing. But tonight, you guys put some stuff in the chat here because some of the things that we're going to talk about, you're going to have an opinion on. Now, before we do that, I've got my fancy glass with my giant ice cube in it, and I've got my favorite apple brandy. Apple brandy, guys. This stuff is cheap and it's delicious, and not everybody likes it but me. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. Adult time. It's Friday night, right? Or is it Saturday? Hell, I can't even remember what day it is. Can't even remember what day it is. But so I guess the first thing we should probably talk about, you know, when we start to talk about grid down type stuff. And once again, if you guys are not familiar with the YouTube's top fans thing, they're putting little crowns next to your name for the number 1, number 2, and number 3. And for instance, my top fan is actually Alan, is actually alrighty then, followed by Cindy Hoff and Grit and Grace. But you can all change that at any time. At any time, it's all about actually contributing and paying attention inside the chat. So with that said, I need to go to my screen over here, and that's the one I want. I guess the first thing that we should probably talk about. I wondered what this was, what that was all about. I guess the first thing on the list would be like cyber attacks, you know. And I am keeping an eye out for my friends because they may pop in, and I only have like this little bitty screen that tells me that they're here. So if you see me looking around, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking around. Cyber attacks, guys. You know, there are some rising incidents of cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. If you know what I'm talking about, it happened this last week. Put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. You know, things like water treatment plants, energy facilities. And this kind of underscores the need for preppers to have offline resources, you know, like stored water or, you know, manual tools, and in order to maintain self-sufficiency during disruptions. And also, if you have a YouTube channel, and you'd like to join in, let me know in the chat, and we will figure out a way to get you in this screen over here. Now cyber attacks are basically, they're really no joke. No, the Starlink thing, Cindy, was there's, believe it or not, it's not cyber war. It's actually there is a group of ham operators that are battling for a spot on the spectrum where that is being used by Starlink. That they're not going to win. They're not going to win because basically Starlink pays the U.S. government to have full access to that particular frequency band. So it's just not going to happen. Let's see here. Bradley says, almost made a mistake a couple days ago. They sent me Amazon payment update and my credit cards just updated, but it was a scam email. Had to reset my Amazon. Wow, that super sucks. That super sucks. Sal says, I've heard that China hacked some sort of U.S. nuclear weapons program. That is correct. That's the one that happened. That's the one that we were made aware of. Excuse me a sec. Oh, that's the one that we were made aware of because we normally find out sometimes months later that things happen. But yes, apparently China was able to get into one of our nuclear weapons programs, but it was basically minimum damage. That they gained access. I'm trying to remember how they gained access, but it was something that was like super trivial and not really connected to anything. But as usual, that bad word, bad news is, bad news travels fast, and it's you want to let the bad news out pretty quickly, otherwise it'll catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Rose? Good to see you. I'm trying to remember the name of the program that they got into because I actually read that article, but it was basically something that they couldn't really do any damage. Ian says, not cyber warfare. Looks like Thailand and Cambodia are going to war. Well, that would be interesting. That's wow. I mean, that would be bloody and last for a long, long time. Thank God they're not like, they're not near peer adversaries, that kind of thing, Let's see here. Catitude says, Bradley, I got one from Norton saying my membership needed to be paid and I owed $289. Don't even have Norton. Oh, yeah, I get those all the time, Catitude. I get those all the time. That's what I was thinking. I got you. Probably an employee with TikTok. I believe it. TikTok is basically a gigantic joke, unfortunately. But, it is what it is. I probably get something like that once a week, where somebody's telling me, I think the newest one I've been getting these emails about my energy bill. And it's like, well, here in America, we call them power bills. We don't call them energy bills. And so, yeah, there's that big red flag. But been getting those ones about how they can save me money on my energy bill. And I'm thinking, how are you going to save me money on my energy bill? Yeah, you don't click those links, guys. Don't click those links. It's bad juju. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. But the whole cyber attack things, cyber risks, should I say? It's a real deal. It's a real deal. I was actually doing some research today. There was an article that was written for, I think, Task and Standard a couple days ago. That talks about if America were to go to war with China, that anywhere from 18 to 20,000 U.S. troops would die. Tag and B just started, so if you guys want to watch them instead of me, that's on you. But you can't win unless you play. Let's see here, and my notification for this live stream only went out 15 minutes late, just like theirs. Thank you, YouTube. Shut up. But he was talking 19 to 21,000 U.S. troops would die in a war with China. And so I was doing more research. And if you take all of the numbers, like so the United States, goes to war with China, right? Like we go fight them, right? Or they come here or whatever, right? Um, the use of an EMP is almost guaranteed to happen if we go to war with China, like physically go to war with China. And so the we've all seen some of the numbers, but I literally had to trick the algorithm because it kept calculating for FEMA, American resiliency, and community planning. It kept calculating for that in the algorithm, saying that it's very unlikely that more than 30,000 people would die in the United States if that happened. Hey, Bob, good to see you, man. And so I finally just told the algorithm, I was like, hey, take out FEMA, take out resiliency, take out community planning, take that all out. And what are the numbers like? Wow, it's pretty freaking huge. We might actually, I'm trying to, let's see here. Where is that? We're going to go to US-China conflict. So the numbers on that are absolutely amazing. Then I actually had it like break it down by month. So if let's say China used an EMP on us in like January. Okay, we use January as our starting month. Let's see, there we go. Okay, I can see it there. So we're talking about, so military fatalities would be anywhere from 400 to 800. They're looking at 100 to 200 killed, and 300 to 600 wounded, right? Just during the month of January, is with all these statistics and the algorithms and the AI is trying to talk about. But the civilian fatalities based off of an EMP would be 5 to 10 million within the first month. That would come into infrastructure breakdown, because the whole thing was focused on infrastructure breakdown because an EMP would cause that. So 90% of the grid offline would put 297 million Americans affected. Water systems fail for 250 million. Hospitals, 95% non-functional. Telecoms, 90% down. Those numbers are huge. And then some of the notes on the side were cyber attacks destroy SCADA systems. If you guys know what that is, that has something to do with the transformers so SCADA systems and transformers. Winter hypothermia, hospital failures, ventilators, dialysis, and don't forget the traffic accidents from no signals. Basically mass death with no FEMA or local response. And it's always interesting how people and even the statistics in studies talk about how FEMA would stop all this. But we've seen that FEMA can't even handle a hurricane. FEMA can't even handle a flood. You know what I'm saying? Don't mind the Discord posted a pic. Oh, Bradley, what have you done? What have you done? Because I got the Discord fired up over here, Broseph. What have you done, Bradley? He posted it in general chat. No, he did not. Where did you post that picture at, Bradley? You're a troublemaker. Okay, so I can't. I see you typing. I'll just keep that window open. Also, my giant ice cube is melting rapidly. All right, so go into the chat here. Been on the phone over twice today. Xfinity mobile issues tied to cell phone back in June 5th. Today, 3 a.m. auto build for an invalid account should be okay now, right? Yeah, right. What are you putting over here? What are you fishing? You're fishing with a beer right now and watching the live stream, trying to win yourself a brand new radio. That's my Bradley. That's my Bradley right there. Okay, so, and I need to be back over here. There we go. All right, so if we roll into the second month, basically February, you're looking at another 200 to 400 killed, and 150 to 300 wounded, and that's what the military estimates would be. And but for civilian deaths, civilian casualties would be anywhere from 10 million to 20 million. And that would be with 90% of the grid offline, water unavailable for 270 million food, or 270 million food imports stop, 100% distribution, no fuel for generators. And then obviously the notes are starvation and waterborne diseases like cholera, and those things are going to surge big time with no sanitation capabilities. Unchecked looting and violence, increased death, no community mitigation whatsoever. You're working on getting some dinner. That's what you're calling that fishing. You're working on getting some dinner. I got you. All right. And then if we roll into month 3, so that would be March, you're looking at another 100 to 300 killed, another 70 to 200 wounded. And then the civilian deaths go up to between 20 and 30 million. 90% off-grid offline, transportation, portals, rail, 5% capacity, no telecoms, sanitation collapse nationwide. And this would be peak mortality for starvation, disease, and violence. No government aid. Urban areas become uninhabitable. Urban areas become uninhabitable. And we talk about it all the time that this is where it's the most dangerous place on the planet in an emergency. In a situation, to be inside of an urban area or a metropolitan area is even worse. That term is even worse. You're just asking to get yourself dead. Let's see here. I'm here for I'm here, but not just for a free radio. Thanks for the info. Well, Tim, if you're not entered to win, you can't win anyway. So get down in the video description and find out what you need to do. And by the end of this video, maybe you will win. Maybe you will win. All right. So if we go into now, it starts to go into 5 and 6 months, and so you're looking at 50 to 150 deaths, military deaths a month. Basically 10 to 40 killed. And then you've got, I'm reading that wrong. So 10 to 40 people got killed. So now the fighting is stabilizing. And you've got 400 to 110 wounded. Civilian casualties are somewhere between 10 and 15 million a month. Wow. 90% grid offline, no water, food, or telecoms. Transportation is completely halted. Ongoing starvation, disease, and violence. No local power. Probably not even solar, unless you've got it yourself, or community organization. Minimal rural survival. So at the 5 to 6 month mark, you're talking about, wait, where's the beer? It's hard liquor tonight, Broseph. Oh, this apple juice, it's so good. This is the best apple juice in the world, So basically at the 5 to 6 month mark, the chances of mortality are incredibly high. That's when we're starting to get into like the rural deaths, and that is no bueno. I need to check something real quick here just to make sure somebody's not reaching out via email. Let's see here. Why can I not find my email? All right. Actually, it's Gmail. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Rumble. No, we're good. We are A-OK. We're A-OK. All right. And guys, if you got something to say about this, put it in the comments, because I will come back and pick out what you've been talking about. So basically, the 5 to 6 month mark is when things really like it's so bad. So this might be like the marker, you know what I'm saying? Because after that, then things maybe start to get a little bit better, but I seriously doubt it. And then we'll move into the 7 to 9 month mark. So basically July through September, you're looking at 30 to 100, which is 5 to 30 people killed. It's been super stabilized, 25 to 70 wounded. And so that's what I'm saying. On the military side, things kind of have a tendency to like level out. But on the civilian side, you're looking at 800 or 8 million to 12 million a month. Still 90% grid offline, no infrastructure recovery. So no infrastructure recovery. Sanitation crisis, fuel epidemics. And then things like dysentery start to slip in. And then obviously in the notes, mortality slows as population declines. Only isolated survivors, e.g. rural hunters, persist. No supply chains or aids. So once we hit that 7-month mark, unless you're one of those homesteaders out there that has managed to survive and protect your family and your property and created a community, somewhere in the 7 to 9 month reign. You know what I'm saying? What is that? There it is. Are those numbers taking into account the diseases? Yes, we've already talked about dysentery, cholera, things like that. Yes, Lamar. And that's something that slowly rolls in. That's not something that happens overnight. And then if we go with, now we move into the 10 to 12 months. So basically the end of 1 year, you're looking at 5 to 20 killed per month. And then you're looking at 15 to 60 wounded. That's the military numbers. Obviously, the military has infrastructure. The military has, they have skills, they have capabilities, and they're going to outlast everybody basically. But unfortunately for the civilians, you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 8 million per month on the civilian casualty side. So basically 90% of the grid is still offline, no functional infrastructure, and societal collapse is complete. So those are the numbers. Everybody is always like trying to figure out, well, what if this and what if that? And obviously there's no perfect way of doing it. But you know what? After you did the research that I did today for you, now you know that. Now you know that. So maybe you needed to start planning for some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They say that war with China isn't if, but when. Am I praying for that? Not at all. I think it's an absolute awful idea. And this could all be all these variables could be completely different. They could just use just standard, nuclear weapons. They wouldn't even try the EMP thing. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of things that could happen. But these are the variables that would be found if you were in an EMP situation. So, there's some real milestones, and it's so nasty. It's so nasty. But so I'm going to go in. It looks like Tuck is in the house. Doesn't the military still depend on a lot of civilian infrastructure? Kind of. I think a lot of times we don't want to conflate those two words, military and civilian, because civilians would be inside of a military base. You see what I'm saying? And supply depots. They have their own trucks. They have their own mechanics. They have their own fuel systems. The Strategic Defense Initiative, or known as SDI, is a very robust military infrastructure system it's down to the roads. Like if you look at, you see a lot of these highways, it's like Eisenhower Highway, 5-star, somebody has seen these before. They're all over North Carolina. But a lot of them are actually designed as major military routes. There is a plan to use them. And some of them are actually identified as expeditionary runways. If a lot of people don't know this, but most highways are required to have certain lengths of completely straight road, simply so that the military can use them as runways in the event of national emergency, that kind of thing. We don't see a lot of that anymore. There on Camp Lejeune, we used to actually see Harriers take off and land on this straight piece of road that was outside of one of the ranges. They would actually plan, they would land there. They would have their own infrastructure systems tucked into the woods, and they would be like hanging out there. And then when it was time to go fly and drop bombs, they would like load them up with bombs right next to the road, and they would fly out there and take off. And yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm going to roll to the comments here and see what we can find. CNN ratings would be the same. That's hilarious, West Virginia, Pappy. Oh, and I forgot. You know what? Let me do this because I never do this. There we go. CNN ratings would be the same. There we go. Let's see here. Cuckvy says, Rose, there will be no produce for stores to buy. Same with wheat. That's true. That's true. No electricity. So no gas. So no transport for goods. And then Bradley says, where are we at here? Bradley says 6-month mark for most of my preps are really good to be pushing it, but hopefully I can keep getting more stuff afterward to add it to what I got. Yes. You know, I mean, and I hate to say it, this really all comes down to freeze-dried food. Most people that have about a year's worth of freeze-dried food, they bought it incrementally. And they actually like use it. They actually cook it with it. They actually eat it. And then it rotates itself out. Otherwise you end up like in a situation where, and I actually have about 6 months of freeze-dried food that will expire after 20 years because I bought it in bulk, like the crazy brand new prepper that I was, you know, it was a 2009, I think. Yeah, that's the thing. Does military have EMP on their vehicles? How viable to pull steam engines out of mothball? I don't know about pulling steam engine. I don't think nobody's going to pull any steam engines out of mothball for the military. Maybe some guy will do it for just cause. And I don't think there's any steam engines that are mothballed. I don't think that's a thing anymore. But I could be wrong. But does the military has shielding? I wouldn't say it's EMP protection. I would say that it's shielding on its vehicles, which is kind of hilarious because I have EMP protection on my vehicle. EMP shield. Let's see here. Gnostic says, what's left of the military will prey on communities that push through the initial surge till their greed gets them wiped out. I don't know. I mean, that's an opinion. I'll have to respect that. Let's see here. Military still gets help from civilian contractors. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. But like I said, you know, if the world was ending, you'd probably want your contractors to come inside the fence line. You know, that's all situational. That's all situational. Idea taken from the Germans after World War II. I don't know what idea that is. Bases tied to civilian electric grid. Not all of them. Many of the military bases have their own power plants. A lot of people don't know that. They all have their own septic and water treatment plants as well. You know, for instance, and the other thing too is Captain Red Tie is actually looking at micro nuclear power plants, and he wants to put one on every military base so that they always have their own source of power. Most of the time now, it's coal. You'll see a lot of coal cars being trained into, you know, via train, just basically backed right into a military base. They unload it in a giant pile and they drive away. Let's see. Let's see here. Most military vehicles have lots of shielding, so they are EMP proof. Didn't know that. Let's see. Rose is saying, where's Rose saying? Cindy and Cuck, locally grown, hopefully will end up with their own local population as opposed to garbage, understanding no transport. Yeah, and you know, the other thing too, it's like Mike from, what is it, Hudson Valley Preparedness. You know, he was talking about like, you know, the garbage trucks, you know, look at the when the garbage trucks stop and there's no crisis, look at the garbage that gets piled up in the streets. And that's exactly what would happen. It would actually start to look like downtown, you know, Iraq. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Andy Pearson showed up. Presents. Love you, man. Let's see. Miko says the only people won't be affected by is the Amish. They'll keep doing this for 1,000 years without electricity in tech. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Miko. But the Amish also, the Amish love, I hate to say it, dude, but the Amish aren't as pure as people think they are. The Amish love their four-wheelers. They love their side-by-sides. They just have the horses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Billy King, shut up. What's going on, man? Let's see. What about a freeze dryer? What about a freeze dryer? Will be worth money. Yeah, if you got electricity to use it. Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see here. Sal Outdoors. It says sponsors. What is this? I'm looking at this chat. Welcome to. Oh, Sal, you signed up to be a minimalist prepper. Oh, thank you very much, Sal. I appreciate you. I'm going to push that on there. It doesn't. It just says I don't understand this. This is free software that I'm using, so it looks a little bit differently. But Sal just signed up to be a minimalist prepper. Love you, bro. Love you. Appreciate you. I will tell you. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. But I will also tell you that people that are on the doomsday level have access to everything, the Discord chat, full access to, or should I say early access to a lot of things that I do. So just kind of FYI, just letting you know, I still love you, man. Still love you. All right, let's see here. Steam power industry would have to be spooled up almost from scratch. That's true, Tuck. That's true. That's very true. You know, let's see here. This is a complete grid down worldwide scenario. No, this one was specifically for the United States. There's too many variables to do it worldwide. So my science, my math, my program that I used to figure things out, it was all based on the United States, but it could easily be pushed over to the world. You know what I'm saying? It's logical to think that it would be very similar. Let's see. What have we got? Rose is saying after 1 or 2 years of growing crops without fertilizer, yields would be likely where they were in the 1920s and 30s. Yes. Fertilizer basically adds about 40% to yield. That's why we use it, because we can get more produce out of the ground, or basically 40% more produce out of the ground. If you compile the numbers, that's a huge amount of food that you can get in a smaller area, or should I say in the same available area. Also, a lot of people don't think about it. I mean, if you're a farmer, if you're like a really heavy duty gardener, that the soil's nutrients have to be replenished. And so just because you grew something last year there doesn't mean you can grow something there this year. And that's another reason that we use the fertilizer as well. Let's see here. We have steam engines in our old iron association here. I love that. Old man prepper. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Just pulled 20 pounds of potatoes and foot-long cucumbers and lots of onions and squash. Hoping I can keep up. Dude, get that stuff in cans like pronto. Well, I mean, obviously not the potatoes. Unless you want to can your potatoes. I mean, you can only eat so many, right? I recommend you do that. Let's see here. Alrighty says, Sal, I hope to see you in LP's Discord. There you go. Amish rely on the grid. That's true. Like I said, they're not as pristine. They're not as innocent as people think they are. But they do live and they do survive at the fringe of the modern world. So let's see. There's still old tractors and engines. Show August 30th, Portland, Indiana. Old gas and steam engines, sawmills, and more. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they do exist. We actually have a tractor. It's like a tractor competition here on the Eastern Shore. At least once a year. They just had it like last month. Let's see here. Rose is saying, welcome to the family, Saul. Amish use propane and generators. Some have, this thing shrinks when I do this. Some have tractors and cars. Even older Amish have propane and gas generators for washing machines and balers, etc. Absolutely. Gnostic is telling us, I was explaining my perspective about the remnants of the military preying on the communities that survive. I got you, Gnostic. I got you. Yeah, and that's a possibility. That is a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not an improbability. You know, we've seen we should have all seen some of the movies. Well, if I'm trying to remember the name, if somebody put it in the chat, the name of that movie. It's the movie about the Polish Jews that escaped into the woods and lived there for years during World War II. They eventually started fighting but the Germans found him eventually, and a lot of them did survive. But there was actually one situation in the movie that portrays this, where they're like, some of the soldiers are like some of the fighters are taking food from the non-fighters, saying they need it and they deserve it, and basically the leader had to basically kill the upriser. You know what I'm saying? Because these kind of things can happen. They can happen, but most of the time you see those kind of things happening in like third world countries. Would they happen here? I don't know. It's a possibility, man. It's definitely a possibility. Lamar says, thanks, LP. Absolutely got to take care of the garden soil. Oop, there we go. Absolutely have to take care of the garden soil. I'm composting, using fish water, coffee grounds, and eggshells, all natural. I love it, Lamar. I absolutely love it, because that means you're not repurposing, you're using stuff that you would normally either throw away or try and compost. So you're literally like composting in your garden. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Let's see here. That's how I do in all my homes. Okay. I'm not sure. That's how I do in all my homesteads. Cindy. Gotcha. Grit and Grace. Gotcha. Been driving tractors with Amish and stay in their homes. So know what I'm talking about. Gotcha, Cindy. Been driving. I'm running out. You guys are. I'm kind of curious because I can't see on this one like who my top contributors are, my top fans right now. It's still. Do I need to hit the refresh? Why does this thing seems wrong? Top fans. All right, so we've still got. All righty then. He's still our number one guy. You got Cindy Hoffman, number 2, and Bradley Collins at number 3. Okay. Make sure your coffee is used. Fresh coffee is too acidic. Yes. And believe it or not, you can actually use coffee to burn the roots of your plants. Let's see. Depending on the Amish order, they may own but not drive. And Andy Pearson says, I can never get over 75. And he's paying attention. He's paying attention to his XP points, which I thought was hilarious how they decided to name that. All right, so we've been going at this. How do you get 150? I don't understand the system, man. I don't know. I don't know how the system works. I really don't. But anywho, so we talked about the cyber attack, and we kind of talked about the grid down. And asymmetric warfare is a very, very complex situation, and it's something that a lot of people talk about that don't really know a lot about it. There's actually some YouTube preppers out there that talk about asymmetric warfare, and then they try to like apply it to the civilian mentality, and it does not work. So I really don't want to talk about asymmetric warfare. I don't even know why I put it in there. It was just on my list of things to talk about. But yeah. Let's see. Miko says, look at New York City's. Let's do that. Look at New York City on the 70s and 80s with the blackouts, stealing and killing, looting. Everything still happens to this day. Yes, it does. I mean, bad people are bad people. It's just that easy, man. Bad people are bad people. So it really has everything to do with I hate to say it, but the city, cities offer criminals a lot of opportunities to be criminals. Out in the country, it's not as prevalent, and it's not as prevalent because if you stole or looted or did something, a lot of times everybody's going to know about it. They're going to know who did it. And your neighborhood is probably going to beat the police to the guy who did it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty insane how that works. And is it like that every time? No, it's not. It's really not. But it's definitely something to think about. What do we got here? Who's saying that? Cindy says Hughes County young people 17 to 21 do drive until enter church. Only community of Amish I have seen like that. I got you. I got you. West Virginia Pappy says gas lines of the 1970s caused chaos. Yes, they did. I was very young. I was very young, but I still remember seeing those gas lines and thought it was quite unique that something so simple could happen. I remember license plates. They started with odds and evens. If the last number on your license plate was odd, you went on a certain day. If it was even, you went on another day. Gas stations were not open every day. And then it got to the point where it was the gas stations they had a number. The last number of your license plate was designated on a calendar, and that's when you went and got your gas. And so obviously you can only go get gas every 10 days, right? So it was a problem. It was a problem. Cindy says, where are we at here? Does the EMP scenario account for our major increase in extreme weather too? So let's be honest. We have humans live for a very short period of time on this planet. And if you look at the scales, if you look at the bar graphs, if you look at all the studies from information that humans have collected for all of their time, where they've actually been able to collect, extreme weather is not a real thing. Extreme weather is situational. It's where a confluence of issues happen to make the weather extreme. It's like, I'm lucky enough that my girlfriend, so if you guys didn't know this, my girlfriend actually is an environmental specialist for a county. And she is the environmental, and she's probably the top environmental inspection or environmental specialist on, I would say, some people would say the Eastern Shore, I would say on the East Coast. And it's interesting when people start to talk about enhanced weather patterns or increased volatile weather and things like that. But then when you actually go back through all the data, you see where none of it actually really exists. There were bad storms, there were bad seasons, things like that. You can actually see where it's like, well, the tides are coming up. They're going to get us all. We're going to all be underwater in a couple years. Al Gore, whatever. And then you can actually look at past water levels, current water levels, and you can look at future estimated future water levels. And you can see where, when you look at them on a map, it's like that much. Not a joke. I'm not talking about the map. I'm talking physically in the world. So to answer your question, no, it was not. It was not. Because extreme weather exists, but that is a sporadic thing. That is not a true scientific model at all. I don't know why this thing keeps jumping up there. I wonder let me put that back up there. Maybe that's why it's doing it. Yeah, it is automatically. That's weird. Let's see here. Solar flares. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Although modern, my father did. Although modern, my father did what? Where's that at? Let me see if it's bigger than it. Whoop, there we go. Anyway, it moved. Let's see here. Although it finally got bigger. Although modern, my father did use a manure spreader and line for his fields. Don't recall him ever using any type of fertilizer. I love it. I love it. And somebody actually put something else in here that there it is. Let's see here. Just remember, I have a master's in statistics and bachelor's in physics, thinking in terms of numbers and how we have cycles in extreme weather over historical data. Yes, those are all factual things. There are cycles in weathers, but even those cycles don't go year to year. So it's kind of like, is it El Nino or is it El the other one? All right, so let's see here. We've got 10 minutes left on this live stream for all you people that have hung out. Looks like there's 27 of you in here. All right, so I'm going to give you some last minute instructions, guys. I'm going to give you some last minute instructions. So I'm going to flip this switch over here. Hopefully this works. Boom. That's not it. That is not the one I want. I want to share this tab instead. There we go. So this is what we're giving away, guys. This is actually how much it's worth. Where you guys are ready. Some lucky person is going to receive the Retevis Alluance HD DMR radio, dual band handheld radio, ham radio with GPS, APRS, Bluetooth, IP67 waterproof, AES 656 32 milliamp battery, USB-C chargeable, no weather bands, 500,000 contacts, digital, two-way, radio, long range for emergency. That whole long range for emergency, that's like a Chinese thing. But that's what we're going to be giving you guys. That's what is going to be given out today. Now, how do you get that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. So I'm going to scroll up here. We're going to make this bigger. That's what she said. I need to make sure that I share this tab with you. And we're going to make this bigger. So, guys, if you have not done this in the next 10 minutes, you have to go to this link right here. This is the description of this video you're in right now. You have to go to this link right here, click on it, and in the comments, type the word giveaway, okay? Don't type it here because it won't work, all right? Then you need to come back to this video and type the word done. It's that easy, okay? You can only win if you're here in the United States of America, and the winner only has 24 hours to contact me. Here's how it's going to work. You're going to contact me by scrolling down here on the bottom if you win, and you're going to, where's it at? Snail mail. It's not in here. It's not in here. You're going to send me a message. I may know who you are, but I'll make sure you get my email address. That way you can send me a message. If you are a member and you are in the Discord, then you need to send me a message there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. It's actually the fastest way to do it. But yeah, that's what you got to do. It's all here, bro. It's all right here in the magic. That's what you got to do. All right. And then we're going to do that. And here in the next 8 minutes is how long you have to do it. And then, yeah, sorry, Star. Did Star show up? No way. Is Star in here? I haven't seen her forever. Let's see here. That's a real humdinger of radio. Yes, this is not a cheap radio, guys. This is a very good radio. Retevis had sent me this radio to do a review on. I did one on. That's actually the video that I'm leading you to. That way we're not getting any false connections over here. I wanted to make sure everybody's focused on that radio. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and stop sharing that. And we're going to be back over here. Let's see here. Slowpoke. Let's see here. Good luck, everybody. I got way too many of them. I know, Miko. Honestly, that's why I'm giving away radios. I probably have a couple more I can give away, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. It's definitely what it is. That is for sure. If China does attack, would say it all goes to heck. I know, right? It would be. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad, man. I don't see here just only 2 Canadians. I know. I got you, Brad. That's hilarious. All right. So with that said, I wonder what the live stream actually looks like, because I'm wondering how okay, yeah, there we go. It kind of looked bad. It was like inside of, it was like doing that whole echo thingy, you know. So Cindy already entered on the Discord, but just covering the bases. Well, you can't win by entering on the Discord. So you've got to put the word giveaway in that chat, or in that comments box on that particular video, because that's where I'm going to use the magic of the YouTube random comment picker to actually find the winner. It's that easy. It's that easy. LMDMT. I don't recognize you, dude. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Andy Pearson, drop the link in here. I'm on my phone. Okay, I will. Since I'm freaking Andy, always needing something, man. You're always needing something. There you go. I'll drop that link in there. That's the link right there. to the actual video where you got to put the comment, I'm on my phone. Don't try to make your problems my problem. Come on, man. LDMT. What's LDMT? At least that one doesn't sound like an STD. Not like Mike's from last night. What's LMDMT stand for? Oh, softly. No, that's really not in my character. I can do those things, but it's really not. I drive my lawnmower like it's a tank, and it's worn out. Okay, let's see here. We've still got about less than 4 minutes left on this for you guys to win. Let me do my thing. Okay, I like that. Do you have your own YouTube channel, LDMT? Do you have your own YouTube channel? There you go, Andy. Done. Thanks, and you're welcome. If you do have your own YouTube channel, I'll be happy to showcase it here and get the word out for people to follow you, that kind of thing. Let me do my thing. Gotcha. All right. And then let's see. Okay, I got all the analytics I could talk to you about. I guess the broad stroke is that oh, you're a newbie. I got you, bro. I got you. But I mean, if you have a YouTube channel, you know what? I'm just going to look for you and see if you're on YouTube. Where is that? I wonder if I can like just go right there, right off of what I'm seeing here. LDMT, and go to channel. Okay, so I see you're just new to YouTube is all. Gotcha. Okay. You know, I'm going to subscribe. So if you start doing good things, I'll know. I subscribe to your channel. I keep forgetting to tell LP I started uploading videos. Oh, you did. I got you. Bradley says he started posting TikToks this past week. All right, good for you. All right. Well, you keep saying you're a newbie, so I'm just going to throw your channel. This is LDMT's channel. She has no videos, but if you want to follow her, then go forward and do good things. Also, let's find Gnostic. Where's Gnostic's channel? I'm going to throw him in there while we're waiting for, for things to happen, for all of the things to happen. Why can I not? There we go. There's Gnostic. Oh, Grumpy decided to show up. What's going on, man? Still here in the pasture, baby, sitting in the herd and watching. There you go. Where's Gnostic? I'm going to click on there, and then I'm going to go to channel. It's like Gnostic he's been shooting his pew-pews. Okay. Gnostic Nomad. He's been putting some videos up. There you go. I got you. I'm going to send you an email, Gnostic, because you might be interested in something new that I'm doing. But I'm going to check out. We're going to throw Gnostic's. Let's see here. Channel up here. Control copy. Looks like he's got 62 subscribers. If you guys want to follow Gnostic, there you go. Where is not a sponsor? Haven't seen him around lately. Yeah, I haven't. But hey, vegan good cookies review has been in and out. So roses resembled too. No AC. I'll keep my eyes on the email. I got you, bro. I've got you pulled up over here. I'm gonna take a look at your channel. I might have something for you. Okay, so it looks like we're about to hit it, so we might as well actually go. And let's random video picker, and I need to share screen, understand. It's always got to ask me the dumbest things. YouTube comment picker and share. And now you guys should see. There we go. So this is where we are now, guys. This is where we are now. So basically, this is the link to the YouTube video, which is right here. Well, you can't see that. I'm gonna double check it. I'm gonna make sure that it's the correct one, and we're gonna throw it in here into the random video picker, and then we're gonna tell it to go fetch, and it's gonna go. It didn't work. Something went wrong. All right, let's try it again. Control copy. Oh, I'm on the wrong video. That's why it was a live stream. I need this one. I need to be in the right spot. There we go. Let's go ahead and delete that. And backspace and enter in V. And then we're going to go fetch. And we're going to go to custom filter. And we're going to use keyword filter. And then we're going to go giveaway. And before anybody asks, no, it's not case sensitive. As long as you type the word giveaway, it's going to be golden. Let's go ahead and continue. All right, I've got 15 people who loaded in here, and we're gonna pick the winner right now. Boom. Cuck V, you are the winner. Sorry, no magical. This website doesn't throw out anything other than who the winner is. So Cuck V, here's what I need you to do. I need you to send me an email. Contact localprepper@gmail.com. I need you to send me an email, okay, with your name, and your address, okay? And I will put this radio into the mail for you. Does anybody want to see the radio? I hope so. It's actually a pretty kick-ass radio. You want to see what's in the box? Let's go ahead and stop sharing that. Boom and boom. Put something in the comments if you want to see it. If not, we will shut this thing down. We'll just shut it down. And I think there's like a 14-second relay or buffer, should I say. The old man prepper. Man, I was talking way too much. I did not get to drink my drink at all. Ian says, "What's in the box?" Oh, Ian, you're gonna be so mad. I know Bradley's like kicking his fishing pole right now. All right, so I'm opening the box. And this is the inside of the box. But a bam. And we're going to pull it out. It actually fits kind of tight in here, which is kind of cool. And then we're gonna throw the antenna on it. There we go. Screw that down nice and tight, and we're gonna turn that puppy on. There you go. And now you've got yourself a pretty kick-ass radio, broseph. It's to give you an idea of how big it is. There you go. It fits inside my hands just barely. And one of the things I like about it is this top knob. You can change the frequencies. It actually like clicks. This thing has so many variables. When Retevis or Revetis sent it to me, I said, "Man, I can't do anything with this DMR radio because it's too. I'm not interested in all the digital stuff. I'm not digital, you know." It's got a USB-C charger inside of it. This base plate charger uses USB-C. Let's see here. It has the you have to download the software, but it has the charging or the programming cable inside of it, very similar to Chirp. They have their own software. And let me put this over here. And then you actually have this is like a little extra earpiece thingy for, believe it or not, it has its own Bluetooth. It has its own Bluetooth device that you can stick inside your little brain housing group there. But so that's what the chicken dinner was tonight for the winner. And once I get that email from you, Cuck V, I shall get this into the mail for you. I was a little I was a little remiss in my duties this last week because I could not get to the mail for the last week's giveaway for the members. The members had their own giveaway. We gave away an EMP shield and a UV5R. All right, so I'm going to put this back in the box. I'm going to close that puppy up. There you go. We're going to close this puppy up. And like I said, as soon as I get that email from you, I will be happy to put it in the mail for you. All right, let's see here. Ian is like, okay, looks way better than a Bofang. Well, it is. It's much more. So Gnostic, that's a pretty serious radio, actually. That's a DMR radio. That's a digital radio. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It has lots of features that I'm just like, whatever. I just want to turn it on and talk to people. I don't need to chirp this and chirp that, that kind of stuff, you know. Okay, guys, I think that's going to be about it for tonight. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Before you leave, if you could do me a favor, what's your email address? I literally put it in the chat. Cuck, I literally put it in the chat. You're killing me, man. Let me scroll up and I'll get it and I will copy and paste it in the chat again for you. Pay attention. Pay attention, dang it. There you go. All right. So like I was saying, guys, before you leave, do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and obviously get the little thingies on your bell so that you get all of the things. I plan on being here tomorrow night. I actually have a special guest who may or may not show up. He said he will, but we'll see what happens. He's actually kind of big in the preparedness community and in the radio community, not like handheld radios, but like over the radio waves. You know what I'm saying? Like a disc jockey, that kind of thing. You guys may know who he is. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's going to be about it. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. I'm going to push a button, and then we'll let this thing shut off kind of all by itself. Bye-bye.